Picture the scene. You're out in the wilderness and the sky is alive with fast-moving clouds that dance across the vastness of your vista. The view is ripe for a long exposure, but there's one problem. You've left your 10-stop ND filter at home and have no other way of artificially slowing down the shutter speed to create a long exposure with those epic clouds streaking through the sky. However, there is a digital solution, and it's all thanks to the blur filter feature in Affinity Photo 2. In fact, the filter we're going to be making use of is the Zoom Blur filter, a clever and advanced blur tool that can make the most of the pixels in your frame and replicate the look and feel of a long exposure image. What's more, we can use further tools inside the software to enhance the sky further, making it a real feature and adding value to your photo. So let's see how this technique comes together. When you open your image in Affinity Photo 2, make sure you're in the photo persona. If you're not, simply head to the top left-hand side and click on the photo persona icon. Our next job is to create a duplicate layer of the background layer. This is important as it will allow us to start the technique quickly in case we make a mistake and want to start over. Head to the Layers panel and select the background layer. All you need to do is click Command and J, or Apple and J if you're using a Mac, and a new background layer will be created and automatically selected, ready for you to work on. With the new layer selected, head to the top of the interface and select the Filters option. Scroll down to Blur, across and down to Zoom Blur. A dialog box will appear and it has a radius slider, and this controls the strength of the effect. For our technique, we want to drag this slider all the way to 100px to give us the max effect. One side note, you could actually be more precise and control where the zoom centers to simply by clicking on an area within your frame. And I think for me, around about the middle should do absolutely fine. So once you're happy with that, click Apply. Now, obviously the whole frame is affected by this blur, and that's not what we want. So head back to the Layers panel and click on the Mask option, which is identified by a circle within a square. We're now going to head over to the toolbar and select the Paintbrush tool, and the keyboard shortcut for this is B. Make sure the opacity is set to 100 and the hardness is set to 0%, and that you've set it to a black brush. You can change the size of the brush with the square bracket keys. Now, the best approach is to make sure the brush, as I say, is set to black, and then start just by painting all the pixels out so that all of the blur disappears from the frame. Next, we're going to change the color of the brush to white by hitting the X key. And then I'm going to start to brush in the sky again, and you'll see how it's going from quite static to that streaky effect that you get from a long exposure. There we go, that's starting to look really good. However, there will be areas where you want to zoom in and take a bit of a closer look. So I'm going to zoom in by pressing Command and plus. And yep, here's the areas of concern. So just change the size of the brush using the square bracket keys. And again, just take your time and brush in the blur. Go all the way around the mountain area or whatever it is in your image, and make sure that all the areas of concern where the foreground meets the sky are properly blurred. Okay, let's jump back and let's just take a look at how the image started with the static clouds, and there we go with the 10-stop effect. The sky may be blurred, but there's still more we could do to enhance the appeal of this image. Head back to the Layers panel and select a new layer by clicking on the Add Pixel Layer icon. This will appear, make sure it's selected, and then head to the toolbar and click on the Gradient option, and the keyboard shortcut for this is G. Head to the top of the frame, drag out a gradient, and you'll see at the moment mine's white at the top, but actually we want black. So click on the Reverse Gradient option at the top of the interface, and you'll see it change. And you could actually refine how much black you want by dragging this middle bar further down. So that should be about right for me. Don't worry about the bottom of the frame, just make sure that the sky will be covered by the black area of the gradient. Here's where the magic happens. Head to the Layers panel and change the blending mode from normal to soft light. And you'll see how that's darkened the sky lovely there. Now, of course, we need to balance out our frame. So head to the Layers panel one more time, click on the Mask option, select our Paintbrush tool again, and we're going to paint out the white area of the gradient, and maybe a bit of how the gradient has affected the mountain as well. So I'll just take my time changing the size of the brush using the square bracket keys. And if you still feel the effect is a little bit too strong, you can, of course, make sure this layer selected and change the opacity, drag the slider a bit further down. There we go, that's balanced out lovely. So let's take another quick look at our start image. A lovely location, but obviously the sky was lacking something. And then we've added our 10-stop filter effect. And finally, we've enhanced the sky even further with the gradient tool. All you need to do now is head up to File, scroll down to Export, and you can change the file in your chosen format, whether that be a JPEG, TIFF, or PSD. There we go. Have fun replicating a long exposure image in your landscape photography, and I'll see you next time.